Good morning. Good morning. Raining in North Carolina. Okay, then. My daughter just said to me, I think I felt the raindrop or two just then, Mom. ah, good morning to you all. Thank you for hitting the like button, helping us till up some soil over here as you came through the door. I appreciate that very much. um, so, y'all, I found out some information, and then we going to have a conversation. I'm in my rhyming mode this morning. Conversation. um. So yeah, if my mind don't start scrambling all over the place, think about everything else. But I said today was going to be a relaxing day. But I found out some things in our garden, and we're gonna see how we can tie that to, something that we going through or whatever. And so let me just get, my stuff together, and we gonna talk. And you know what? One man's trash. I love the rain. I told you I love the sound of the sprinkler, and y'all gonna get that ASMR. We got to get the sprinklers going in the background, and all that good stuff right there. So give me a second, and I'll be right back. Okay, child, I ain't gonna even be that picky this morning. uh, with all of that situation going on because I said I'm going to relax. Good morning, Miss Coffee. Good morning. I said today is I'm claiming a relaxing day. That's what I'm doing. So I'm setting the mood for our relaxing day. Y'all got y'all drinks and everything, and you sitting down chilling somewhere. You could be moving around, and that don't mean you ain't having a relaxing day. But I came through because I want to, the spirit in me want to keep moving around and finding everything in the world to do, and I'm trying not to do that. But I found out some information about our garden yesterday, so I'm finna sit y'all down over here so y'all can see. Okay, now let me switch y'all around, and let me show y'all what yesterday. Y'all see the sugar cane sitting in the midst of it so it can get watered when it do. But I'm about to plant it out here somewhere. But I showed y'all yesterday when we walked through. You see how the tops of my zucchini and the squash are beginning to die out, right? I've never had that happen to me. So last night I started doing some investigation. You see, some of us things will start to happen with us or whatever, and we'll ignore them and ignore them, the signs of it. Because I mentioned to y'all the other day, I was like, the limbs falling over like that right there is like, I can't, why is that happening? I've never had that happen before in my mind. But then again, I was like, well, maybe I mentioned it to y'all. Same way we make up things in our mind when we notice something different. We depend on somebody else to tell us, something's going wrong with us. But the first person to know it is you all the time. Uh, Thank you very kindly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And the first thing to know, is that when you look at it, your babies. And remember, these are our babies we growing to ourselves, right? So we can grow along with our garden. So I told y'all the other day, I was like, I ain't never seen that before, right? I've been doing the same thing every time I plant. But remember, I tell y'all, I don't never have good luck with squash. I'll get probably like 6 or 7, and then they already dying out. I was like, well, could it be those squash bugs? No, it ain't the squash bug. You remember I said I want to go and look up 2 or 3 videos and find out, you know, me a little bit of information, and then I make sense of my own thing first, and then find the solution and work towards the solution of fixing said problem. So what I found out was this mulch, the wood chips that I have down around it. When you water, and we come out here and turn our sprinklers on every day because yes, squash and zucchinis do love water, but the wood chips laying directly around the root of, we talking about the root of the problem. The root of the problem. You got these wood chips around the root or the base, let's say the base of the plant. And because those wood chips help maintain water up under your soil, it will make your stem of your plant start to rot away. So I come and I look around the bottom of the plant, and absolutely. So they suggest that if you're going to do that, put the wood chips down, pull it back at least 2 inches away from the stem. So that's what I'm going to do this morning to see can I correct um, that issue. before the rest of our squash plants died the same way. Once you start seeing issues in said places, start to do something about it. Don't stand by and just watch. Don't let all throw your wallet down. Don't let all of us die. Throw your wallet down like Martin Lawrence said is coming to time. Throw your wallet down. So we gonna see can we correct that problem this morning. And that's still kind of relaxing. And so the ones that are already died out, we're not gonna even sit and whine over those because I also bought my seed bag. So I'm going to look in my seed bag and see if I got more squash and zucchini. This is also encouraging to let you know just because one of your plants go, you go ahead and look for your solution. But plant another seed. Plant another seed because now we know one more thing that we should not be doing. So this is a learning lesson for me. I've never had this happen before. I actually used to have them piled up, and maybe I blame squash boards for some of the things that it could have been the wood chips all along that was doing it. But I can't blame that on all of them because actually I have cut my squash open and they have had boars in it. I told y'all we feed those to the chickens when we get them like that. So um yeah, when we find situations like this that's nagging at our life, you the first one to know about it. You the first one to recognize that there's an issue in this part. So let's find the solution and figure out how we gonna fix it. So we gonna see if this gonna fix the problem in our garden. And guess what? If it don't fix the problem, we'll figure it out. But we gonna plant some more seeds. So now let me see what else. It was one other thing, but y'all let me get my thing so I can start to clear around the sides of our plants before we even get them cranking up. But y'all look at y'all see our sunflowers. Look at them. Look at our sunflowers. Now I'm gonna show y'all what the sunflowers where they at on me. You see these sunflowers about to my shoulder. They almost to my shoulder. Look at this. Let me let me see. Let me sit it back. I'm gonna turn it this way so you can see. I'm gonna walk over to the sunflowers and show you how much they grow in one day. And now we didn't come out here. Did I come out here yesterday and show y'all? Or we stayed up in the other part of the garden. Look where it is to me. Yep, will be. I said it's gonna be to my waist then. Oh well, it's waist, not almost to my shoulder. We'll say this. It's waist. They're waist high right now, but they also going in a slant back there because these get more sun or whatever. And I'm debating how I'm gonna clean around the bottom of them, but we growing. We growing. So okay, let me set us up with our handy dandy. And then I'm gonna show y'all went and saw something. Ooh, without y'all being able to see it. So let me turn the camera around so y'all can see while we on the way heading where we at. Y'all see our cucumbers now? That mean we climbing. We going somewhere. We getting somewhere. So let you see these ones on this row too. You can start to see them um, outside of the weeds showing, but they getting a lot bigger. You know, they starting to grow up this row. Our bell pepper, baby bell, She putting out for us already. Y'all see that, baby? Two more okra plants along with look our tomato plants, and a lot of them laying over to the side because the water sprinkler hitting them when usually they don't. So they really need to be, you know, shored up. So it's that time to get back on that. But it ain't gonna be today. And that's what I was saying when I walked over here in this area and I was like, feed me Seymour. That's what I heard my plants saying as I walked over here. And I was just laughing at them because I can hear them, saying what they saying. And I just say, because your plants will talk to you, based off of their movement. The same way we talk to ourselves and we know a problem is on the rise. Pay attention to yourself. But I told my plants, not today. I gotta take care of my relaxing day. So I got y'all tomorrow. Ooh, and look, one of our tomato plants done died. Child, I don't even know what happened to her. Y'all see that? She just croaked over. What in the world? Y'all, you probably can't even see her. She's so shriveled up. Hmm. I told you, when you be missing from the garden just for a little bit of time, you will come back and you will find a lot changed in that little bit of time. Soursop stretching his wings. And I told y'all we got another loofah had came through. So now we have a total of three. One of them died too. And now we got another one popped up out of the ground. So I'm still hopeful the rest of them will pop up. But this what I came back here and saying. This our watermelon right here. And it's got bloom on it already. I don't even eat watermelon. I just don't even like the taste of it. So, and I've tried so many things over the years to make watermelon make sense to my taste buds, but it just never have. So, ain't none of my thing. But I like to grow it, and my kids. And look at the close up of our the broccoli. We came out here and cleared it. This is the first time y'all done seen actually full what the broccoli looking like since we came through the other day and tilled up our garden. Yeah, Miss Coffee, I done tried it every which way. Sprinkle a little sugar on it. Sprinkle a little salt. I remember we was talking about our cabbages, and I said two in them. Well, we actually had three of them here in there, right there. We got one more. So y'all see the three we got though. I'm finna baby them. It just won't be today. I'm a baby them. I cleaned around them the other day when I did the broccoli bed after I got off live. But I did that, and I see our black eyed peas starting to reach up. So I need to put probably two poles, two or four poles here, so I can run some line down the middle of them so they can, you know, have something to lean on to. That every let me go this way so I can show you where it's not something growing. Where you see the cabbages at, that's the only thing getting there growing. The rest of it is grass to pull up and feed to the chickens. This right here is just a walkway. The walkway that I leave open so you don't see. Yeah, no, around the cabbages, those are all weeds. That's why I say I can't really tell what's all in there. So I go hand by hand, and when I go hand by hand and pulling the grass up, I mean that do something for me too. I love doing that. And since I'm gonna do the work, I just usually have something on the side of me that I throw it in, and I put my I feed it to my chickens. So, but this right here is growing, all growing stuff here. These are black eyed peas right here. You're starting to see they got their little tail on them where they starting to reach up to grab onto something. So I need to give them a helping hand. You good? Thank you for coming back. And then these are our sunflowers. So I like the way they growing in a like a uphill. And I told you I think that's happening because they get more sunlight in the front than they do in the back. So all the front ones are tall, but the ones in the back, you see, they get shorter and shorter as you go through the back. So I think that's happening because of the sun. The more sun they get, the bigger. And even these are like leaning forward, like let me reach out to this sun over here. And I told y'all our sweet potato, we had a sweet potato vine that was sticking out of here that I got. You can still see the stem of it right there. It's green, but I don't know if it's completely dead. It can't be completely. Well, I see roots for it, but all of the leaves on it fell off. So the vine is still there. I still water it, and I want to see, is it gonna come back out? And at the end of the day, remember I told y'all those were sweet potato vines that was left from last season that I was meant to give them away, throw them away. So if anything, we didn't lose anything because it wasn't anything I was planning on using. But because I already have some sweet potato, I have sweet potato vines in other places, so that's why I'm not worried about you. But if you ain't got your sweet potato game up, don't throw away no sweet potato vines. You can just plant them like all over the place or whatever. And look, after a while, we gonna see some more beauty out here in the garden because we growing. That's the bloom. So the bloom of it, up and it's this pretty violet like color on the inside. Oh man, it is so pretty. I love the okra plant. So when the bloom opens up, you know, then, you know, if I'm saying, I think I'm saying it the right way. The bloom and then the okra come after. So it'll be, I ain't never paid attention to get this and do I, we gonna do an investigation. Let's see what happened to this plant here. Let me move it back so make sure so they said the root may be rotten. And let's see. Oh yeah. Right there in that area. Like it's rotted right there. It's smushy. Well, no, it's not. That's not, I thought it was rotted there. So then, um, let me put my glove on so I don't know what's gonna come out. Yes. Okay, y'all, sorry about that. But let's get us some gloves on here. So the mulch is it's causing them to not get water. No, I what they were saying from the video is that the videos that I watch is like if you got the mulch too close to your to the plant because it holds the moisture in the wood, so it ain't just soaking it down into the ground. The moisture holds the wood chips hold moisture in it and keep the ground from drying out so good, right? Because the wood is absorbing a lot of the water that you get here, right? So if you got the wood chips essentially leaning up against the stem of the plant is like saying it's soaking in water almost is the way that I think it to be. I could be wrong, but um in the videos that I watched, um they were saying keep the mulch back at least 2 inches from your flower. So um I'm just gonna do that, and if I find out something different later, but to me, I don't see anything on the plant. I don't see now I'm looking for a hole or something in the plant where you can say like a the the squash bug got in. Well, maybe I see there it is. We got squash bugs. You see it? That hole right there? Let me see. Am I showing you the hole? Let me turn it around. I don't know if you can see that hole in there. Let me turn the camera. Let me get the camera to make sure you all can see that hole there. You see that little hole right there in the plant? Squash bug. Yep. So that's why I said it happens really quick out here. The first place I see when this stem bent over right there, there's another hole. There's another hole right there in the stem. But you see, I seen the problem. I didn't I didn't think it that it was going to be that. So we got squash borers out here already, which is one of the reasons I told y'all, I don't have that good of luck with squash and zucchini. Does that mean I'm about to give up? Absolutely not. So I'm going to have to figure it out. Yep. I think I see them on this one right here. I don't see any so far. I don't see any of the worms up on them. And so definitely since we found out there's squash borers inside of this right here, it will definitely go to feeding my chickens. My chickens will love to eat this right here. So that's the way I kind of look at it instead of looking at it as like a complete loss or whatever. It becomes food for my chickens. So I'm just gonna check the rest of them and see if I know any holes in them. And yes, I do see a hole in some of the rest of them. You see, that one got two holes on the stems right there. Yeah, let the camera focus in right there. You got two holes. Yep, I give them to the chickens. The worms inside of them are it's protein for them. So and when they see it, they attack it real fast. So now I'm gonna look inside of I'm gonna check each one of these plants, but 9 times out of 10, once you see that activity and you start seeing all of that right there, so I was right. And we only got one squash from out here, so so far, so I'm going to pull the ones that are here, and I don't know. Maybe I have to do some type of greenhouse situation or something because, yeah. And they said too that I also looked it up because I thought that this would be a part of it, and you could choose a different time to grow your squash. Um, and so I'm probably looking into that a little bit more, so I get more of them harvest from them instead of going through this situation. Figure out a different time to make up this, or to keep losing squash and zucchini like this. So um I'm just gonna pull the ones up that I see with all the droopiness going on them and everything, and we gonna put them in something that I can feed them to the chickens. I'm disappointed to find out that's what it was. I really am. I mean, oh man, y'all, I can show y'all one going in the plant right now as we speak. I never would have thought. Let me see. Can I get y'all to see that? Do y'all see that squash board? He actually going inside of the plant. Oh, let me pick this camera up. Y'all know we don't play around with no dang on bugs around here. Okay. Do y'all see him right there? Yeah. Look at there. Yeah. He gonna be good to the chickens. He gonna be good to the chickens. And I guess they'll enjoy the squash too. Yep, we got one good squash off of them, and then it all went down. So I don't even want to stare at it to just keep wondering what happened to it because ain't nothing you can do about it really right now. And I don't want to, be putting a whole bunch of craziness on it. So at least I can say I grow something that I can give to one of my animals. And guess what else? Seeing our squash was on that one. um, the seeds were gifted to me. Um, so, and not that, I take it, the seeds were given to me to use as a gift for something that I like to do. So I tried it, and once again, the squash boys has beat me. But I ain't going down without fighting. And the soil I try to keep around the plant because the plants it have earthworms inside of the thing, so that's a treat too for the chickens. Man, and this one got so many. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that one there. I don't see no activity on that one yet, but child, I already know. I see how this going. Now that I know um, this, and I have some stuff that I know work on it, but I just don't wanna. I don't wanna use that stuff. So I'll have to um, grow it in ways that is working as gonna work best for me. So and yes, uh, these squash plants, the leaves and stuff on them is very prickly. Poke the crap out of you. Ouch. And yes, y'all, I am using this bucket like a walking cane. Yeah, they got so many holes in them. I mean, they ain't try to give me a chance this year. They took us out like Tyson. Ooh, anybody watch boxing like that? I don't really watch boxing like that, but oh shoot, you Lord. I don't really watch boxing like that, but I sure want to see this fight that's about to happen with Tyson. I don't watch him fight a couple fights, and this one of them that I want to see. Ugh. So just as fast as our garden was growing and looking all beautiful and stuff, now, we having to pull all the color, our yellow squash and all that from out of there. So, yep, our but guess what? We losing one color and then another one is coming in. Another color is coming in. And I was talking to y'all about the okra blooms. And I actually just saw one. I might have showed it on camera and I didn't realize it. But we're gonna go and look at that bloom after I finish pulling up these squash. Yeah, this fine good old seed bag right here. With all of my seeds in it. And one more. I ain't gonna leave it in here and torture myself like that only to watch it die over. The the chickens will have eaten this. So now the only thing left for us to do is figure out what else we gonna plant in that spot. That's it. Okay, y'all. So the most strenuous thing about that was bending my back down to get that stuff done. And look at the sky over here. So um planting planting my squash on the porch in a bucket this time to see if I can avoid the squash board. Yeah, okay, and that's what I looked up here in Florida on yesterday. Is like there's a certain time when they like out, and they say if you plant after that time, then you can miss them. So I gotta get more into that time because maybe that's what I'm missing. Hey, Korea, how you doing, boo? Um, that's I'm trying to get more into that now that I've planted them, or whatever. And now I could choose to plant something that could be effective. I also too I seen that they were saying I'm slowly but surely learning that like other kind of plants and stuff, if you plant in with those other things. So there was another plant that I seen that I possibly could deal with, but um I don't like seeing like weeds and stuff. Like y'all see these weeds in between the plants and stuff. They're there. I really don't like them. I don't like the weeds to be in the by my plants, and maybe that's the OCD in me. But of course, I cannot keep up with all the weeds that's out here. So this is a different thing for me. That's why I'm discussing it with the other garden bed that's up there. But those things too are helping me, you know, to bring balance to what I got going on inside of me. So I'm gonna look through my seed bag and I'm gonna see what else I got. And if push come to shove, um, we'll be done put some more sunflowers or something right up in there. So let me tell y'all, we got in the seed bag, we got cantaloupe. I don't like cantaloupe either. I think it's rather disgusting, but somebody else might like it. If you're thinking about planting cantaloupe, which I am not, because cantaloupe take up a lot of space, like watermelon and the pumpkins take up a lot of space. So I don't want one more thing that's gonna take up a whole bunch of yes, call me a hater, Miss Coffee. I'm gonna say it. Yes, I don't like it, but that don't mean that I won't grow it. So I have these. I'm not gonna plant them because we got two big spaces that we gotta maintain for the pumpkins and for the watermelon. So this is out, and y'all see the sky keep changing up over here. One man's trash done sent her weather over here, but you know I love the rain. If I had my little umbrella with me, I wouldn't even be trying to end nothing. But again, we got some more watermelon. But I said to y'all, sugar babies are really cute when they grow or whatever. And guess what? The watermelon that we got planted back there in the back, I don't even know what kind they is. So we might have a they might be all mixed up. It might be different varieties inside of one batch. So we don't know what we gonna get. You know, I tell you, it's chocolate, a box of chocolate over here. Yeah, never know. Um, this a different one, a crimson. I don't know the difference between none of them. I'm telling y'all, I just grow. I don't eat the watermelon, so I ain't trying to taste it and compare them to each other. Like which one tastes better? Uh-uh. I got more pumpkins. God knows we don't need them. We got more pumpkins. God knows we don't need them. And we got more pumpkins. Child, yeah, we got a whole bunch of pumpkins. Just all different kinds and stuff, and people, wanting to give me seeds. I got more zucchini and squash, but I need to figure out like a greenhouse type situation, or we're gonna look into that timing. I'll probably check the timing of what's the best time here in Florida for me to do these to avoid the squash borers, and then we'll come and put more of them down at a later date. Um, we got lettuce, but I think lettuce do better in like cooler places. Like lettuce is really great. This kind of lettuce is really great for like your window sills. If you got an apartment and you eat salads and stuff, grow your own lettuce in your window. You know where it come from, and you can pinch them off on the bottom sides of it as it grow, and you will continue to get lettuce. So grow you some lettuce in your window seal. This would make a very creative, and they, your own baby stuff instead of going to the store and spending all that money for a cup of water, because that's essentially what lettuce is. you know, a cup of water. I hate those things. Good for the chickens. What thing? Which the oh, zucchini and squash. You don't like zucchini and squash? One man stress. My lettuce drooping. Water, Miss Coffee. Water. And what the it was good. I reported and it's true. Oh yeah, you good. If you up potted it, you gonna get that for a little bit. But you will do good is okay if you water your lettuce, and if it have the what'll be even better is like if you got the a little tray that's at the bottom, and you keep filling the tray up that's at the bottom to let it suck moisture from the bottom, and whenever you see the tray going low, then you just add water in there. Um, I found that because I don't grow lettuce in all kinds of ways, so I find that being better. when you going in there, it kind of like to you wasn't. She was like, hello. See, even though you when you're up potted or whatever, and you walk past it and you see it laying down, you was like, oh my gosh, are you gonna be okay? Which is like one of the broccoli I picked up the other day, and I planted it into another spot. And before I left from my head, it was like drooping down. I was like, "You gonna be okay? You know you got this." When I came back out here the next day, she was standing up proud, like, "Hey, hey." I said, "All right, now I see you." Okay, this is I got dinosaur kale. Never tried it before. Um, no, never. Not saying I've never eaten it before. I've never um I've never tried growing it before. Um, and let's see what it says about here. It says a good time to plant it is between February and March, and I guess between August and October. So I'm a hard headed kind of person when it comes to gardening. I be trying. I be trying it, which I got in a fight with probably planting that, being hard headed and not planting that squash at the time. But sometimes you gotta try something every now and then. So, and that's what I'm about over here and learning. Learn from our situations, grow from it. What else I can do better. Don't beat yourself up. At least you tried it. Okay, and we got some carrots. Now I grow carrots before, but I'm kind of scared to. I ain't never. I usually grow them in my garden bed, but I don't know why I'm scared. I got more than one pack, and do you know one pack come with I don't know how many carrot seeds in it. Um, but I got ground moles out here. I ain't never planted them in the ground, so I can't tell you what it will or won't do. I done got afraid before, and you know what? Okay, see, something just happened just then. I'm talking to y'all, but I just spoke the words and I said, I'm kind of scared to put them in the ground because we got ground moles. When I catch myself saying that I'm afraid of something or I'm scared of something, don't nobody challenge me like I challenge myself. I'm in it to be, there's only one entity that I got fear of. And anything else that come up and try and put fear in that place, you know, I'm trying to face it. Now, everything, cause see, I ain't been challenged with no snake or no, no nothing like that. And I don't, God, I don't want to be challenged with them either. I don't want that challenge. But I definitely have a fear of snakes. The ones in the garden. Real life snakes, and you know what kind of snakes we talking about. No, no, watchful, pay attention, absolutely, but not fearful. We all are human. We all have something about us that our do's and our don'ts. But you know, but back to carrots. Since I feel like there's a fear of me putting them into the ground because we're thinking the ground moles are going to eat them. Now I want to spread the row out, and then this what we probably going to put there. So, too much trouble to treat the board. In my opinion, it is. You know what? We are as parents. If you a parent, you already know. You got to play 550 roles. You got to be guidance counselor, disciplinary, inspector, a nurse. And see, I don't want to give out no shots. So I don't want to have to get no syringes and be coming out here and shooting up my plants and going on all of that stuff, you know. So, no, I don't want to do it. Am I gonna figure out how to work around it? Yeah, but for let me see how much a pack of squash or zucchini costs. It actually don't have it doesn't have the price on. It doesn't have the price on these right here, but I've seen this brand in the store, and they're easily like $7 for this pack. So, oh gosh, I rather than to pay 6 or $7 for some seed. I'd rather go in the grocery store and find the biggest zucchini in the grocery store and cut it open and pick all the seeds from out of that and let it sit on the counter and dry out. At least I know I paid $1 or something for it. They still grow the same way, in my opinion. But just looking at that, that is kind of expensive for chicken feed. But and it even costs more because I put work into it. I did some things where I put my time in it. Ain't nothing more valuable than the time that I put into it. But you know, so but anyways, all is not lost. We gonna feed the chickens with it, and they gonna enjoy every bit of it. So here we got a decision. And I'm not gonna do it today because see what I almost did was fell into the trap of is I'm finna go and plant these right now. And I keep having to say to myself, but you said today was gonna be a relaxing day. So once those aren't breeding anymore, they don't kill the squash, but it's hard to wait. One man says you definitely understand because see, that's how I got into. Hey Shauna, that's how I got into this trouble in the first place because I told y'all it ain't even time, but see, anxiety got the best of me. So I started doing them inside the shed. Hey, Miss Yo Thoughts. I got too excited and hurry up and planted them. And I knew I was early, but I'll be over here trying this Florida weather because, you know, it be sunny one day and you can get real cool weather, but the weather don't usually get so cool that you can't that your plants won't survive over time. So it don't last long. So I be trying stuff. Sometimes I win and sometimes I lose, but I be trying it. So we're gonna decide tomorrow. We're gonna stump our fear out. We're going ahead and putting these carrots. And too, my daddy gave me a good tip one time. Hey Leslie, thank you for coming through. Welcome to the chat. And any of you all coming through, don't forget to hit the like button. That just means you came over and you helped tilled up some soil over here in the garden, and we can use all the help that we can garner up over here, in the garden. So that's called tilling up our garden over here. Till up a little soil when you come in, helping us out, dig up some weeds or something. Once those aren't breeding anymore, they don't kill the squash, but it's hard. Yeah, it's definitely hard to wait. Yeah, anxiety be getting the best of me because I be ready to see stuff growing. And I'm telling y'all, if you ain't never grown nothing before, and this is your first time growing, because I wanna, us growers and everything, we wanna pull because as you pull from the earth, working in that soil, it's almost like the earth give back to you as you digging in it. So I'm telling you, I'm here to encourage you to grow something and grow along with whatever it is you're growing. So I'm saying to you, once you put something down and you see that thing start to change around or whatever, ooh, just the excitement of seeing it come up. And can somebody help me? Miss Calvin, can you tell them what it's like? Miss Yo Thoughts, I know you know what it's like because I be telling them every day over here, whether you know it or not. My friend Miss Yo Thoughts said For you ones that don't want to do a whole bunch, you can take you a pack of seeds, just like this right here. Take it and sling it down on the ground and throw some water on it. You ain't even got to do that to it, and watch it get something. If that's the way you plant your garden, you growing. As long as you growing. Hey, I tell them all the time. It is very exciting putting something into the ground because, and I don't completely understand it. This gives back like no other. It you come out here and put work into it, it gives right back to you. And then we applying this stuff to our real life. So we getting a whole lot out of what's going on right here. Um in the garden. Here in the garden, we can make it come alive. Passion can make you fall for what you feel. In the garden, we can make it come alive every night. Y'all see it? um, I still haven't started my garden as planned. Leslie, don't worry about it. Let me tell you something. You said you want to do it, so it's already on the inside of you. And the mere fact that you keep showing up here, that means you're getting encouragement to get closer and closer to putting those seeds into the ground, right? Now, what you can do is you can set you a date and you can make a promise to yourself and say, okay, I ain't did it yet, but let me set me a day aside to put a seed in the ground for me. And I'm going to be done it before, let's just say, like next month is like May 15th or something, right? I got that right? Yeah, it is May. Because I'll be keeping it. Okay. Okay, then stamp it down and say by May 15th. I'm gonna be done planting my garden by then. Give yourself a little time to, talk yourself into it. But the more you show up over here, you're gonna get that little push or whatever. And I'm not giving you the date of May 15th. I'm just saying to you, give yourself a day. And you'll be done fulfilled it by then because you've made a promise to yourself. So whatever day that is for you, keep your commitment to yourself. Because I'm also in a commitment to myself every day. I come out here and I be in this garden. I be doing little stuff out here. So I don't really have an excuse not to hit the live button and just share a little bit. I am I'm learning to be very selfish with my time, but reserving it for myself the same way I've poured it so much into everybody else around me. And y'all, we're going to be bouncing all over the place, but Leslie, pour your, because you can't get a harvest until you put your seed in the ground. See, and apply that harvest with, think about something else that you're aiming, that you want to, I know you already got something in mind that you want to succeed at. Connect you putting that seed into the ground to the process of where it is that you're trying to get. And when you connect the two of them together, they'll start to work together and you'll start to look at that situation over there as you start to grow that right there. The two will come together, if I'm making sense to you. So right now I'm specifically speaking to Leslie, and I don't know her at all. I know you got a plan. I know for sure of something you got going on. You got to first get the seed, which is the thought in your mind. Tell them it's your thoughts. Your thoughts. Your thoughts already want to go somewhere. Connect the two of them together. Go ahead and put the seed into the ground, just like the information you have to go and get when you want to get something started or you want to do something. Connect the two of them together and watch how your garden or your plants will speak to that situation. I'm trying to tell somebody, not by, I ain't talking about your stuff. I'm talking about my stuff. What the garden do for me. I tie whatever I got going on out here to what I'm going in my garden, and I want to be successful at that thing. So I'm trying to be successful in what I got going out here. And when I run into a stumbling block, I pull it up just like we just pulled them squash plants up and keep on moving along. Plant the next seed because it didn't work out that way. Don't you? What they say is it's several ways to skin a cat, but we ain't skinning no cats. Y'all understand what I'm saying. And I'm behind in the chat, but Leslie, that one was for you. It's exciting to see things grow. Absolutely, I love seeing God reward you for your work. Absolutely, Miss Yothos. See, I know you. I know Miss Yothos understand because Miss Yothos, um, always growing something. I see her stuff growing over there. Check Miss Yothos out over there. No, no, I hate squash boys. Yeah, yeah, I understand that. I saw Al B. Sure and two of his sons in concert a few years ago. I love him. He's a good dude. Yeah. I see he been going through some things lately. Before the end of the month is the see Leslie, I don't even know you. Whenever I get situations like that, I take it just for confirmation. I call that confirmation. I don't know you. You really don't know me beyond me being here on YouTube and speaking to you. I call that confirmation for me to say to you by the end of the month is the next goal. Okay, that you already set a goal for yourself. All you got to do is every time you see us now, cause see you don't released it into the atmosphere. You let us in on your goal. So now we ain't gonna forget that over here. Be like, and it doesn't mean that anybody have to say anything to you. Just the mere thought of I put my goal out there, and that gives you like that extra push to go ahead and do what you got to do. Simple as that. Thank you, Shauna. The end of the month. Hey yo, I sub. Oh yeah, and you all too. Go over and sub to Miss Coffee. Miss Coffee is another content creator, and when I tell y'all, if y'all see me over there and I'm playing around with editing and stuff like that, and I'm trying to get better. A lot of people won't know some of the information in my on my channel and in my lives. They don't know that we have conversations like this right here. It's not just about the garden. It's about connecting ourselves with what we got going on out here in the garden. And we not no professionals over here. We just humans living through life. But I don't know anything about any editing. But Miss Coffee is like she knew just what to send to me so I can watch it over and over and over again and get little pieces of information. As a matter of fact, I got a question for you too. But not even just that about the videos. When she got plenty of videos over there for you to look at and see the different things that she can do. She also do like banners and stuff like that right there. But she has a craft that I don't possess. None of those things. But everything that you see me over there doing, as far as editing, making my own intros and all of that stuff, I learned that because we pouring into each other over here. We sharing what each other got going on our pages and the information that we get. And that's how we keep, see, we got a whole garden right here in the chat. Plant a seed, you will get a harvest. So we bounce off of each other. I can ask her questions about editing, and on top of it, I'm asking a question. I want to be able to show I'm putting forth an effort because I hate when people get my information and they don't do nothing good with it. See, information is just information and gossip when you're talking about it. But if you don't use it to benefit yourself, and I'm not saying in a bad way, I'm talking about in a positive way to benefit yourself. I don't think it's I don't think it's nice that you go and ask people for information. And I'm not talking about like being in somebody else's business, but I'm saying you going through something in your life and you ask somebody for help for something, and then you don't utilize the information. You still stuck in that place with the information in your hand, but you haven't tried it, or you're too afraid to try it. Well, for those of you ones that's listening, and I'm saying that to you, if you got information that somebody giving you and you going through the same situation over and over again, it's time to go into your go in that shelf where you put that information that you had got from all these different people that you've been talking to, and they've been dropping gems to you. It's time for you to go back on that shelf and do inventory and find out what's on that shelf that you need. Because a lot of you, the people are aggravated with some people because they have the information and they don't want to use it. They just decide to sit there. Or and I'm not saying that in a bad way, because sometimes information is scary if that's where you if that's where you want to stay at. The information can be very, very scary. But if you can just push the fear to the side just for a little bit of space will be able to open up, and you won't even recognize that you done stepped a little bit closer to getting over that fear. But you can't keep asking somebody for information and then you don't utilize it. That's foolishness. So every now and then I like to do something to show to Miss Coffee that I don't just want the information that you give to me of how to do this thing. I want to show you from time to time that I'm utilizing what you give to me. And you know what I get back in return? Miss Coffee share what she growing over there, and I get to jump up for joy because I've encouraged somebody too in another way. And I hopefully she feel the same way as when she see me put something out. It's like watching your baby take the first steps for the first time. Even I don't think them her first steps or whatever, but for someone to be speaking to you and get information from you, and to actually see them using it is rewarding in itself. So, um, you know, and I told y'all sometimes I go off in my babbling moments and I don't have no clue what I'm talking about, but I know I'm talking about something. And I'ma just I'ma just keep it that way. Just like that. Now let me go back in this chat. So that's Miss Leslie, Miss Coffee, and Miss Yo Thoughts I have covered. I picked up one and put it out of my garden. It was little to claim my fears of them. All righty then. As long as you know it's there, then you can go on and find something else. You can find something to kick that fear right on up out of there. I'll talk about, woof, honey child. I don't want the Lord to test me. I don't want him to test me because I'm thinking about it. My sister-in-law had a fear had a fear of snakes and birds. And one day I was talking to her on the phone, and sister gonna tell me, honey, she just seen a snake go down her hallway. And see, prior to then, she was telling me, come on, see, Lord, I'm begging you, don't test me with it, because I don't want to be tested. I'm perfectly fine with leaving this earth and not being tested with no snake. I don't want to be tested. But okay, and I know that it's like, if there is something that I have a fear of that brings up anxiety in my stomach or whatever, I know that something's coming along because to be tested in that area. And I cannot believe that I'm talking about no snake right now. Whew. But okay, y'all, I've already said it, and because I'm keep on saying it over here, don't be shocked when y'all see later on down the line if a snake be out here. Because see, I'm going to leave that one alone because I don't want it. I don't want it. Web building design for 21 years. Okay, see, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know. All right, graphics video editing. And my son did something I'll think of the yeah, he went for graphic design too. So um you say graphic. I think that's the same thing, Miss Coffee's. I'm thinking, but he in the field, he out there, he actually doing it. So like he don't have a whole bunch of time, whatever. And eventually, he said he was, he's gonna show some of his talent, um via through my page or whatever. But he don't have no time for it. So I gotta try to learn a little something my own self. In the midst of the process. Um, Thank you all for subbing to Miss Coffee, Miss Yo Thoughts, and all of that. You better preach it, that queen. Hey Jay, thank you for joining us over here. Thank you very much. It's the first time I've seen you in the chat. I believe. My name is Pam, shorter than the screen. Okay, now one man's treasure. I'm gonna be saying that, and then don't forget. It'll take me a couple of times, then I remember. I remember. Thank you so much, Shauna. I love that Miss Coffee called me Shauna. That's home right there. So anybody that don't know, and you say Shauna, that's fine. I like being called Shauna. For sure. We all have them nicknames in the you know when you yeah that all of us have them nicknames. Turn into a friend. God bless you. Yeah, absolutely. Pam, my son. That's right, Miss Coffee. Remind me her name is Pam. All right. Thanks, Miss Coffee, and thank you for making me feel welcome. You are absolutely welcome over here. Absolutely welcome over here. Yes, we're gonna grow together. Yes, we all growing together. And all of us, just like I told somebody else came through here yesterday and asked a question. We ain't had an answer. We ain't had an answer to those questions, but I asked them. We over here helping each other. Um, if you can find the information and come and share with us, because we're not growing that way, Miss Coffee. Reminding her, I forgot Miss Coffee is growing on the inside. When I'm looking inside her pots or whatever, I can forget that because I grow some things in pots outside. I can forget that she growing on the inside. But when she said, I was like, yeah, that's right. Look at that. So we got more information in the chat. So ask questions, whatever. And remember, we talking about real life and in the garden. Let them go hand in hand. So we talk about everything over here, not just about what we growing in the garden. We tie the two together, but we talk about real life over here. I have a fear of snakes too. I'm trying to tell you. Get the likes up, y'all. Somebody needs this. Or okay, Jay. Thank you very much, Pam. Shoot some. Wait a minute. Say shoot. Some of y'all friends is snakes, and you should be scared of them. Hey Jay, that's like that's our exit. That's our exit right there. We let them know we out here in the garden over here. This is life with Tashanna over here. Sometimes they call me Shauna, but one of the things is we the high class gardeners is what they call us over here too, right? And that just means that we make sure we growing at all times in garden and in our real life, right? And tying the two of them together. And we don't mess around with no snakes, no bugs, and no worms in real life. So that's a message that we definitely stand on over here. So thank you. Okay, then you find me from the shorts. That's what I'm known for, as I've been doing a lot of shorts, but and slowly getting myself into doing more lives and stuff like that. I haven't been that committed to them before, but now I've made a commitment to myself. Um, Took me to be 62 to realize I am worth the time. Oh, and Pam, if you can go back, and that will be Miss Pam. No disrespect to you, but That's just the way that and some people don't want to be called that. But Miss Pam, um, I can understand 62 to realize I'm worth the time. But ain't it a blessing that you above the dirt to be able to realize that you worth the time? It took me almost my full 47 years that I've been here. So, and it'll be soon 48. It took me some time to get to that place so I can understand when you say it took you 62. The important thing is, Miss Pam, dear God, I'm here. I'm here. You understand what I'm saying? You made it regardless. And guess what, too? The mere fact that you made it, there's somebody else out there that needs your encouragement to not stay there for as long as you did. So we all got a charge put on us. Ain't that something to have that kind of charge? Regardless of whether you think they receive it or not, and regardless of whether that's the time that you pour in yourself, ain't nothing wrong with encouraging somebody else that you know is going to make their life better, even though yours ain't in that place yet. So keep on, Miss Pam. Keep on. um, Window life. All right, that's right, Miss. Okay, Miss Coffin, going to have window life over there. Go Miss Leslie. It's worth it. Amen. It is definitely worth it. And I'm gonna say to you, it's not the easiest process, especially when you've been considering everybody else your whole life. It's not the easiest process to go to. But when you get yourself around people who growing and moving from those same places that can speak to you from those same places, it make it a little bit more easier because they know how to explain some things, maybe not your exact situation, but they can explain something to you very, very, very similar to what you've been to and through, and make it make sense to you. So start small. Hey, what do you say? Come on to me as a little child. Whatever situation you go in, no matter how you got a person on the side of you yelling at you, there we call that the process. Start off as a baby and then learn from there and keep growing from that situation, and keep putting yourself around people that help you grow in there. And all the time, those things ain't nice when people help you growing. Sometimes it's like them growing pains. They tell you things you don't really want to hear, and they tell you some things that you don't find out till later on it was the best information for you, but you was mad as hell that they gave you the information. I don't want to hear that. But the important thing is when it's time for you to get it, because first you have to get the ears to want to, hear what it is, a person trying to give to you. And you'll get it right. And then when you get it right, you ever went back to a person after you done denied they information they trying to get to you, and you be like, you remember that time you told me that? Well, it just hit me today that you was right. You know, be that big person and go on back and say to the person, you was right. Because sometimes you don't get confirmation that you're giving somebody something good until much later down the line. And every time you find out you gave somebody some good information, it helped to grow you up every single time. So, grow lights, I need to learn to mix dirt. Be right back. Everything this year I do, grow my herbs in pots. All right, then uh, we gonna be waiting to see Leslie. um, High class gardeners. That's what they call us over here. We are the high class gardeners, where we believe in growing something all year round, something. But we don't play with no snakes, no bugs, and no worms, and that's in real life. And let's tell you how we got to be the high class gardeners. One day we was in here and I was telling everybody this when I first started showing people um, my garden and stuff. Because see, this originally wasn't supposed to be like gardening. This was supposed to be me coming on and telling my stories, me purging out, you know, things that bother me, keep me awake at nighttime. And you can go and find out some of those things in my older videos. So I used to come on here and um YouTube was like my diary when I first came here. I came on here um first trying to show little things, just trying to break into and learn, how to get on camera and do X, Y, and Z or whatever, because I never done this before. But um when I came on here, it to me it was the most embarrassing thing to come on here and cry out in front of people from some of the traumatic situations that I've been through in my life, because I have been through a lot. But to be able to come on and be able to tell my story and then to see, because a lot of times we sitting right in rooms around hundreds of people and we feeling like we this little, but you don't know around you probably 99% of those people who sitting around you been through the very thing that you've been through, that you feel like you so embarrassed or it's so hard that you've been through that situation. The only thing is we ain't communicating with each other to know that we all going through something similar. So um you know I used YouTube to come on and do my things. And now looking into those comments and seeing some of those things, that it's so many comments and stuff there. There's no way I would ever be able to answer all of them. I would love to be able to go back and answer to some of the questions. Even some of them I've spent a lot of time going back and forth and having conversations with people in those shorts and stuff like that. And it would get consuming. But um, now I'm in this place of I feel like I have so much to say, but I'll be like, do I want to turn the camera on and share every day? And so I guess I'm in the right place at this time. So let me go back. And y'all forgive me because sometimes I don't be complete and full stories. But if y'all hear me touch on something, I don't mind um you all going back and say, wait a minute, you just said X, Y, and Z, what that mean? Ask me a question, because I tell you, I be bouncing all over the place and I call it I be babbling on. But I find that when I babble, what I call babbling, other people don't see it as that. I find when I be babbling on, there's something I always say in the babbling that touches somebody, or they were supposed to hear what I had just said. So it's funny to me, but I call it babbling because I be like, I'm talking to you, but I don't know what I'm talking about. So, um, I would love the editing info. Can you send a link? Okay, yeah. So talk to Miss. Link up. Let Miss Coffee know, and because now see, I can't teach about no editing because I'm really really learning my own self, and so we gonna give that one to Miss Coffee. So talk to Miss Coffee. So I'm back, mom-in-law after church. All right. Shout out this and mama. Uh, Jay, you don't even know. Honey, listen, over here, you'll hear me say, I just be trying to mind my own business. Hey, uh, you get to that point in your life. I'm just minding my own business. I heard you. So the inching closer to go. Okay, absolutely. Your son in his 30s too, huh? Oh, yes, yes. So I see you've been looking through quite a bit to know, and it ain't just no begin. And too, I'm gonna tell you too. When you see a lot of those things, it's too. There are certain things in those situations that I have to take accountability for and be like, but you gave a chance here and you gave a chance there. So, you like getting up on that thing before you keep on trying somebody after a while, and before you know it, you get that boom, like that right there, scared the mess out of you, right? You get that kind of reaction. And I try not to go to those places, but sometimes, even with your kids, you have to let them know. And what worked for them when they were younger, and which is I keep saying I want to go back to when they was. I'd rather go back and do the whole 18 years over again than to do the adulting kids. You got a whole nother set of worries and whatever when they turn into adults. So, um, but we gonna grow through that too. But absolutely, your kids can be frustrated, and you have to learn to let them grow and go. Let me say that again for some of you ones that's in the back. Sometimes you have to learn to let your kids grow and go. I'm learning. That's how I started my page too, Queen. Um, no cap, Mac. When I told my mom's passing story. Wow. See, Jay, I even have a story on here that I talk about. I had something traumatic happen to me. I'm not gonna tell the story here because you know you go back and watch it. um, I had something traumatic happen to me when I was 6 years old, around in that area. Um, and the traumatic thing that happens to me, this thing that happened to me at 6 years old, showed up at my mom's funeral. So, and I was in my 20s. I was in my 20s at that time. And there was a whole lot of stuff that went on at that time. If you can find some of my stories where I just share videos, some of my lives that I do, um, I'm sharing those stories, especially when I do story time. But I'm not that good. You see, all of my videos don't have thumbnails and everything on it, so you really wouldn't know like what it's talking about in there, whatever. And you know, I got all of those stories on here, and yeah, I think that point in life, mind my own business, hits about 40. Ha. Yeah, you better come through and say it, Katie. And you know what? Sometimes, especially when you hit those points, you already be minding your own business. It's just that people love coming to you and telling their business, and then when you start to make sense of it to them, and they don't want to hear you, I think that's when you go to that point of, I'm just sitting back minding my own business. I ain't got no more information for you. I can't help you. No, none of that right there. I'm going to mind my own. I'm going to mind my own business. And you find out ain't nothing wrong with that. And then even at a certain point, let me tell you something. When some people get ready and they like have a conversation with me, because I talk to a lot of people, right? And I'm not saying like people off the internet or whatever, but I'm talking to a lot of people by being on here, period. But I'm talking about like my family and stuff like that. I talk to them because they call me, and they get advice from me a lot, or they just talk to me about different situations. But they already know I'm gonna have my opinion, or whenever whatever you talking to me about. But certain times when they talking to me and they try to get too deep into the information, what they trying to give, I'll be like, whoa, 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 hold up. I don't need to know all that. I don't need to know all that, too much information. Because see, I know how they is too. Is that they'll give me all the information, and then when later on down the line the stories show up. And then I'll be like, well, when you was talking to me that day, you said X, Y, and Z. And then they want me to be crazy that you said what you said to me, and now you saying you didn't say it. Uh-uh. Especially when they get into something and they holler about, Shauna, ain't that right? Didn't I tell you X, Y, and Z? And I be see now you done added me into your business, and I didn't ask to be here. I was sitting over here quiet in the corner because I would have never said that you told me X, Y, and Z. But now you done throw me in the middle of it, and you ain't gonna never get a chance to make me out of no liar. So if you gonna throw it on the table and we gonna talk about it, I'm gonna tell I'm gonna tell my part and what I got out of the story too. So if you don't want me to be that person, Don't bring me up. Don't bring me up and put me in the middle of your business while I'm sitting over here minding my business. So, yes, Katie, it hit different when you get to that 40. uh, my son, Miss Coffee, girl. No, okay, mine's on, he 30. My oldest is 32. Yes, Jesus Christ. Um, I still have my mom. Amen to that, Katie. Um, I still have my dad too, but we don't have the closest connection. I even talked about him before on here. Do I still love him? Absolutely, I do. Um, he is a part of me, and I'm a part of him. But do I see it for him all the time? No, I don't, because I got a lot of issues and things, and there's things that I've never been able to express before. And now that I'm an adult and I'm looking out for me, sometimes those things aren't easy for me to deal with because I got a battle on the inside of me that's saying, "But he's your dad," and then but you can go back and you can see all of the things that happen when you were kids, and if you say something about it, everybody just wants you to shut up. They don't want to hear anything that you got to say. Okay, then I respect that you want me to shut up. But then when it come down to your situations, don't expect me to scream out loud when you've been telling me to shut up all these times before. And for you to understand, you will have to go back and look um, at some of the things that I went through. And for those of you all who are here, when you raising kids, um, think about the things that you're doing with them, because there'll come a point in your time that if things weren't right, your kids will start hollering out to you, well, this happened and that happened. You either take accountability for it or you deny everything that happened. Somewhere along the line, you're gonna have to face the truth. And so what I've been able to do is go back and look, and if all of the things that happened with my kids that was in my control, am I comfortable with the way things worked out? And if I am, I'm good. You will never be able to take, because sometimes as parents, everybody don't agree with the way that you do things, but ain't no handbook for no kid, because all of them come here different. We all very different. What works for one does not work for the other, and sometimes it calls you to step out of character. Because I believe in matching energy. That's what I believe in. And if you wanna get bucked up, then that's what we gonna have to do. But we gonna work some things out. But over here in me and my husband's house, ain't no kids gonna rule over here. Well, we handling business. So there it is. I'm off in one of my long tangents here, but see, that's what happens when I get into these comments here. Y'all be bringing up something. Pam, I can't remember names. I will tell you every time. Make some. And what we use. How bless you are. Take care of her like gold. I know that's right. Take care of them like gold while you got them. Even though I have faults and stuff, I always tell people I don't hate my mom. I'm just talking about the things that happened to me. You can't change what really happened or whatever. And I don't know what those conversations would be like, but I'm just now starting to go through the healing process of those things that happened to me back then. So I don't know how things would have been, but absolutely, when I'm telling my story, I'm not bashing my mom or anybody else that I'm talking about. I could have a lot of hatred towards these people, but I don't. I choose to forgive them and keep moving on, go through my process until I feel better. I'm interested in me right now. Bayline, I'm just minding my own business, and there's nothing wrong with it. I know that's right. Oh, but that's what I was doing. I was telling y'all about how we became the high class gardeners. But yeah, let me make it short. We was out here in the garden one day, and I never meant for my page to turn into the gardening page. But I was telling them about some of the things that I do. And during the time when I first started, the weather was cool, so ain't a whole lot be happening out in the garden. And that's my time alone. Every now and then I would bring somebody out. But we was gardening one day, and a bug was on the plant, and honey, we got up and left from by that plant with the quick ones. I said, well, that's one thing I don't play around with is no bugs, no snakes, and no worms. Cassie, you in the chat said, well, how you a gardener and you scared of snake worms and bugs? She said, oh, you high class. She said, "Oh, you high class." I said, "And there you have it. We are." She said, "You a high class gardener." I said, "And there you have it. We are the high class gardeners over here, cause we ain't playing around with no snakes, no bugs, and no worms. So we are the high class gardeners over here." I was a customer service rep. I do miss for everyone, and yes, we are worth the time. Absolutely, Miss Pam. Unless they are Mister or Mr. Of course, LOAS. One more day on this side of the dirt. I know that's right. I mean, feelings is facts. What you feel is real, and family can hurt you the worst. They absolutely can, and it seems like the more you extend yourself to allow them to do that, you only set yourself up to get more of what you allow them to do to you. So now I'm in the process of I'm doing something. Listen, you can go down the same place. It's like if you making the letter T, right? And we comparing this to when we going through the same process over and over again. So if I've been making the T like this every time, right? And that's my process. And if I've tried the T in this way and I keep getting it wrong, why would I keep drawing that T in the same way every time? So the next time I go through that process, I might go through it the same exact way. I'm gonna draw that line across the top, and I'm gonna get down here, and everything might look exactly the same way I did it this time, but I'm gonna take and put a hook at the bottom of that T. Cause I told you I'm gonna go through the process, and when I realized that the last time when this situation right here showed up, I did this same thing right here, what I'm about headed to do right now, and I refuse to do that same thing over and over again. See, that's the process that I'm going through, and it's a different thing when, especially when it come down to your kids, because when you know that they got the potential in you. I ain't not, baby. I'm not none of your friends and none of these other people that's out here on the street. I am your mama, and I got certain expectations for you. And if them ain't that, if I can't even get close to it, then you need to go somewhere where I can't see you while you fail. That's the way I feel about it. I'm not gonna sit by and watch you be a failure in life. Not none of my kids. And those ones that are out there, um, and and I view as what they're doing as failing with the way that their life are going. I ain't give up on them and think saying, they just gone and tossed and win. I just don't have to watch you make the decisions that you make. And I just shut my mouth and I keep on saying my prayers because you can fight against the words that I say to you all day long, but you're defenseless against the prayers between me and my father. You catch my drift. So I spent a lot of time doing that versus arguing with them, especially if they not in my face. I feel like those are times that God protected me from the things I do know and do not know. I just don't have to see that because you can't run their lives forever. So we have to get to a place of where we allow our kids to go and grow. And all of it ain't gonna be nice. I can promise you. Aunt, uh, Auntie Young Love will tell you to forgive yourself for what happened to you. Oh, Jay, that was the first thing I had to get, and I'm telling you, see, Jay, you sure you ain't been all up and through my page because see, you telling all of the stuff that you're saying is all stuff that I done already talked about already and said. Let me take a sip of water now. All things. And see, I said I was gonna relax, and I'm standing here. Let me come around here to the garden table and have a seat. Cause see, Jay, you finna let me see where you say it. You say to forgive yourself. Okay, when I left that funeral that I was telling you about, um, I told you I went home and I called myself every name in the book. And when you said that, the first person I had to forgive was not the person who had done anything to me. I had to forgive myself because I was blaming myself for everything that had happened to me when I was 6 years old, dealing with some people that was adults compared to who I was. So you are absolutely right. Forgiveness first. I never heard a young say that, but just to think about what you just said is absolutely true. You have to start with yourself. I keep my side of the street clean and mind my business. I know that's right. Um, Having hate for someone gives them power. Y'all heard what Katie said? She said having hate for someone else gives them power over you. True, true. And if you give them all that hate instead of really paying attention to what happened, because I realized through a hug from one of the people who caused trauma to me that I can go back and I can feel that hug from today. And I know I get something new out of that hug every time I think about it. Because see, the first time when the hug first came, that hug came to and sent me in a tailspin. But the more and more I view that hug from that day before, I can feel the energy that was coming off of that hug. And now that I go back and I view it, I also realized that on that day that he gave that hug to me, on that day that he gave that hug to me. And I'm sorry, y'all, when my grandbaby was walking past the camera, she just walking through la 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 la. And usually I don't have it this way, but I'm just now when I go back and think about it, I know that on that day he was more intimidated by me than I ever was of him, because I can feel like if you can just go back and I can just feel the way that he gave me a hug, that he didn't know what was going to happen at the moment he leaned over and gave me that hug. You have to understand the story. You have to see the story. But Jay, you touched on something right there. Let me go. Let me move on past you because you're trying to get me stuck today. No, I'm just joking with you. Don't you know? You know it like a poet. That's why I haven't. That's why I can't garden. If I see a spider on my Katie, listen, I told you, I'm coming out here when there's bugs or anything like that, or I'm going to get my husband and tell him, hey, you come get this thing from out here. Other than that, the garden is over for today. Let a snake come run through here. But I was also telling y'all too, I was on the phone with my sister. She talking about a snake crawling through her hallway. And he started hissing at her baby. So I call that a challenge. She had a super fear. But because I feel like, and me and her talked about this, because she had that fear, she feel like she got a challenge. And it's not that, because they say weapon, it didn't say that a weapon wouldn't be formed. It says no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So it doesn't mean that you won't ever have weapons or somebody trying to use something against you, but there's a place you're going to prosper to when those things come. So she didn't have anything else but the mere fact that that snake was in her hallway inside of her house and he was hissing at her baby. She got the challenge because, see, on that day, see, sometimes you can have a fear or something, but let one of your kids, honey, I feel like if you can't swim and one of your kids got into a pool or something like that and you had to rescue them, you may be scared of getting in that water, but ain't nothing finna stop you from going in there trying to save your baby, even if it costs you. So the mere fact that this snake she is so afraid of, the snake ends up being there and has to, let me come back around on this side. The snake has to Ooh, hold on, y'all. She is challenged with the snake. Um, and because her baby is trapped in the hallway, the baby don't have no way of getting around it. So, what you gonna do? Leave your baby there? What you gonna do? Leave the baby there and let her deal with the snake? And so on that day, she went into her kitchen, and I'm telling you, she done put her phone down, and she's talking to me. She put the phone down, but I can hear everything going on in the background. Child sister went and got her two butcher knives, and she went to work on them. And just to hear her, like she was so scared, she was screaming all in the background and everything. But imagine you had to face that fear, and it had so much power over you before, and for a situation like that to have happen to you, yeah, it's a scary situation for you to be put into, and it's a new arena for you. But you stood up to the challenge and you passed. And you best believe if you had a situation like that where you faced off with a snake and you so fearful of him, but you had to stand up to him, it's kind of like a bully. You know what I'm saying? When you've had to stand up to one, all before you didn't know that every time I run, it just empowers the bully to keep on doing the same thing to me over and over again. But I need to do something else different, just like drawing the teeth. If it doesn't work that way, then I have to add something else to it. I can't do exactly the same thing I did the last time only to get the same result and fail. I got to do something different. Um, yeah. Well, then I hope that means a good thing, Miss Katie, and that don't mean all things are good about me, but hopefully that means a good thing that I remind you of. Where's everyone from? Well, Katie, I am from well, I'm not from Orlando, but that's where I am right now in Orlando, Florida. I am originally from Gifford, Florida. Yep, Iyanla Van Zant preaches gems nonstop. She has a YouTube page now. Really, I always, listen. Iyanla used to have a show a long time ago, and I remember Tawanda Braxton was on this show, and I'm talking about this show was, I think it was called Starting Over or something. Way back in the days, way before she had the Young Van Zant show and all of that stuff right there. Like old school, old school. I used to watch all of her stuff then because she was speaking to some of my situations, but it was like a gloss over back then. I guess that was the beginnings of my preparation. But it's like now when she speak things, I like some of the way she be saying things. Sometimes I be like, ooh, whew. I like when she just be real. When I like when she even shut the cameras down. When she be like, no, just go away. And I can understand it. She just needs to be like in the moment. She don't need all of that extra stuff and everything. I've always felt really good about listening to Iyanla because she gets you to get past the trauma and heal you at the same time. So yeah, I like her. I like her too. Um, all right, London, England, living in Toronto, Canada. All righty then, we got some folks around here. You gotta let go and let God. Absolutely, Chicago in the house. I live by water. Ooh, that's water my favorite. Water is my favorite thing. That's why I say we have to set the mood out here when we come out here and turn on our water sprinklers because I love water. I love the rain. I say I'm one day I might turn on the thing. I might have me a lawn chair out in the middle right here. Let this lay back and let the sprinklers splash on me. Some of these days. So I woke up one night and there was a frog in my living room. Honey child, let me tell you something. Let a frog be in my living room. In my room, no nothing. He can have the whole house. And if you don't believe me, hmm, let me get my husband in the background and ask him, child, please. He already know. if a frog or something get into our house and he don't catch him, I won't be sleeping in here tonight. Nope. Mm-mm. I need to know where he at. All that stuff. Absolutely, the snake wouldn't have got the hatchet that day. Well, he sure got a not my baby. That's right. But and the thing is too, a lot of people won't go back and look at it is that the one thing you feared that held so much power in your life, you was put in that situation to now get past it. Even one day I was out here doing something in the garden and I went to dig into the ground. I was getting up some of my soil that I put because I made a garden bed on the ground and now I was getting it up and scooping it all up. And then it was like a root or something down and I went to dig down in it and I chopped into the ground with the hoe. And when I came up, I came back up with a half of a snake. And I think I was on live and I said, "Oh, see, I almost said a cuss word just then, y'all. You know, I'm working on it. It come up every now and then, but that's what the words I said. I like to stick with the truth. Chop down in that soil, and that dang on half of the snake came up out of there. Honey, please, and everybody say. I was like, oh God, y'all, I made a mistake and chopped the steak. Somebody in the chat say, you made a mistake. Yeah, that was a mistake because I know, honey, I'd have been throwing that thing, getting up out of there, getting away from there. So, yeah, I just feel like this snake talk is a challenge may be coming soon. Yeah, it's greater today. Don't get caught slipping at night out here. Um, it's starting over. It was. Yeah, okay then, Leslie. Yeah, it was called Starting Over. I know, I remember, but that show came out. What that show was, that had to be more than 20 years ago that came out. So I don't go out at night unless I have to. Jay, it's a shame because Chicago used to be such a beautiful place. It be like that. It be like that everywhere. Um, you can't go nowhere. You can't go nowhere. Shoot, sometimes it ain't even safe to go to the stores no more. We see it on TV and everything. People just, you know, everybody want to be famous for the craziest thing. Y'all, did y'all hear on the news about even the man that set himself on fire in front of the courthouse? Um, I was like, but why? Why? Not really that I really want to know, but what what are you gonna get out of that except for being on the opposite side of the dirt? I just don't get it. Florida, it's a paradise down there. And you know what? You know, when people say Florida is like a paradise down here, I'm very grateful and thankful. Those two mean pretty much the same thing for everything here in Florida. But in my experience, the same way you can have it over there in Chicago, that you can't go anywhere at nighttime and all of this stuff. There's places here that for sure. And everybody love to call this part of Florida like the bomb. Like Gifford is in Vero Beach. Everybody call that the bomb because wow, we surrounded by the beaches. Everywhere you go, you is less than 10, 15 minutes from the beach, like right across the road, whatever. You can go to the beach anywhere there. They call all that beautiful. Still in those places like that, you still can find the worst of the worst places. So yes, Florida is beautiful, but I'm pretty sure that I could go to Chicago and be like, I absolutely love Chicago. It's beautiful over here. You know how when you live in a place, then you can be like, it's overrated. I be the same way when they be saying about Florida when they say in Florida, and it be so funny too because I be hearing people say, like I used to hear this girl used to be well, I used to watch her back well, I tried to watch her back in the day. I used to watch her every now and then, but her name was Lovely T or something here on something happened between her and Tasha K, I think it was at something at one point or whatever, a while back. But I used to watch the two of them every now and then, and every now and then I would hear her say call Florida ratchet ass Florida. And I was like, why
I wasn't offended by it, but I was like, why does she always say that? Then she proceeded to tell a story about something that happened here in Florida. And I was like, I'm pretty sure everywhere you go, there's a very ratchet place you can always go to in those places. But okay. But yes, Florida can be very beautiful, but you know, just like any other place, it's got its places. I ran told my husband there's a frog in the living room. He looked at me like I was three, like I had three eyes. He didn't believe me, and I went in my car till he got that frog out my house. Hey, Katie, you sound just like me. No way, ain't no way in the world. Mm-mm. These kids, all these kids need is love. That's all. They're lacking love, so their souls are rotten. And ain't nobody to tell them the truth. I got snakes, turtles, possum, chipmunks, rabbit spiders so big that they look like I'm short. Hey, over here, I showed the turtle over here. We got turtles. We got a turtle that walk around in our yard every day. More well, not every day, but when I see him, I try to catch him on camera and show him to you all. They are protected, but he got a messed up leg or something over there. One of my subscribers named him Gilbert. His name Gilbert yesterday, and I don't want to tell y'all who I thought of when he called him Gilbert, but I'm gonna leave that alone. I ain't gonna be messy. But she named him Gilbert, so we're gonna be calling that turtle Gilbert from now on. JM, we took her out of our schools, and look what happened. You done took it out of a whole bunch of different places. But those who know it was a mistake. I like the ocean, but I'm not swimming in it. I don't play around with the ocean like that either. Because now when you go to the beach, the beaches here, there's something like a washout thing or whatever. So at the beaches here in Florida, you can be walking out and it's like a steady incline of it getting deeper and deeper. But then there's like this area in the water where you'll have this deep step down and you won't even have no footing up under you, and you better know how to swim. It's just like all of a sudden you walking, and all of a sudden you take that one extra step and there is no footing for you to go down on. So the next thing you know, you falling forward. And God forbid if you holding on to another little another little child. Say, okay then, but I'm on live right now. And you're destroying that tool. I know you know it's not supposed to be like that. Child, when the 4 year olds like they grown than they older than everybody else. Okay. Um but yeah, they got sections in there when you walking into the water, then just like your footing be swiped up from from under you. Um not I got we don't play about math now. Okay. I gotta run, guys. Okay, Miss Pam. Thank you for coming through as always. Um, Lightening yourself. Absolutely. The craziest thing ever. We all Virgos in this mug. uh, Nobody can handle hearing no. Yep, a lot of them can. Just like it, look, you hear these two right here going, come all the way back here where I'm at doing my live to come back here and have an argument. But the 4 year old thinks she know more than the 12 year old. Going on with it. And the 4 year old knows she wrong. She looking back at me as she walking through. You already know. Do what you done been told to do. Gimpy Gilbert the turtle. Yes, Gimpy Gilbert the turtle. That's what they named. um, that's that's how Lake Michigan is. Riptides too. Yep. It's well known here for the riptides. But I went snorkeling in Mexico and saw all the critters in the water. The girl, I walked on water. The funny thing is I can picture that. But let me tell you something. When we went to Miami one time, the water in certain places is like crystal clear. You can see everything moving in the water. Nah, I go fishing and everything. But see, my husband then wanted to start standing in the water on the rocks and all of that there stuff. Listen, baby, I like fishing, but I like fishing long distance from the fish. And I don't want to be in the water with the fish that I'm trying to catch. Cause see, those things in there be having teeth and stuff, and I don't necessarily want them to be touching me in that way. So if I'm gonna be in any water, I'd rather for the water to be dark. Cause see, I'm used to the water over in Vero Beach, Florida, where you can't necessarily see through it, and then whatever gonna sneak up on you, it gonna be a surprise. I don't need to know about it if I'm gonna get ate by a shark or something like that. Just let it come on and just take me out of the moment. I don't want to see it coming. I don't want to see it coming. Tell everybody like, girl, you crazy. No, I don't want to see it come and get me by surprise. Yeah, I don't need to see it. That's how Lake Michigan, yeah, the rip tides. Yeah, we have bad rip tides here. Miss Pam, have a blessed day. Yeah, Miss Pam do have a blessed day. Never been fishing, but always wanted to go. Leslie, fishing is kind of like coming out here in the garden. It is very, very peaceful. Sometimes I can go. My husband loves to fish. Me, sometimes I accept going because when I'm on the side of that water, everything be so still and peaceful. So sometimes I go out there and I just let the seat back. And sometimes I just go there and close my eyes, or I go and get me the best sleep ever while they out there enjoying that breeze flowing through and still hearing in the background them having their laughter of the kids and everything and fishing. But fishing can be very, very relaxing. I just bought some peppers, onion, beets, cucumbers, zucchini, basil, sweet seeds. How should I plant them? All right, Jay. That's what I'm talking about right there. Um, are you planning on growing outside? Listen to that. I like the way that sounds. Are you growing? Of course, you're growing on the outside, and you finna get ready to grow in the garden. Hey, I'm smiling. I'm smiling. um, Oh no, absolutely not. That's why I'm asking you. Where do you want to do it at? Cause see, according to where you want to do it at, that's what we gonna talk to you. Cause see, we got a lot of different things going here. So you can do it on you can start on the inside and then work your way to the outside, and then but you have to know like where you're going. Do I plan on being in buckets, or do I want to be on the ground? Like how um Oh, okay then. All right, come through for the balcony because that's what some of the things we talked about, different things that you can do. Jay, if you can go back to yesterday's live, I went live twice. One is about a turtle, and the other one is about things that we were doing out here in the garden. If you have time, go back to yesterday's live, and I was showing you some things that I started because my garden has we just stretched out this big um this year. When I first started out, I had these little Dollar Tree buckets that I had all of my stuff growing in. I mean beans and everything. You can grow everything, and sometimes you have to figure it out. You started in this right here, and then when you figure out why it's not growing, you just essentially, if you're gonna grow in something big, look at how big it's gonna grow or how big it's gonna get or whatever, and you will know for that root system to keep going and the thing to grow properly, then I need to put it in this situation right here. But almost everything that you grow, you cannot go wrong with a 5 gallon bucket. Sometimes you can plant several things in them. You know, I've did it before, but I only got away from it spending all of that money on those things because we have so much property here. It's just I wasn't ready to expand out here. I didn't even know I was going to expand out here in that time then. So I was trying all kinds of things. But I'm telling you, gardening is contagious now because I'm telling you, I started in them little bitty buckets because I had a garden in the other place that we lived in, a really nice size garden. But when we moved out here, I really wasn't into it like that. I started doing it in little buckets, and I'm telling you, every time I started over in them little buckets or whatever, it ended up going to like this right here. And I don't know if you ever seen a tour, a full garden tour before, and it done to what it's done stretched to now. And I'm telling you, Jay, I cannot wait. Oh, I like those little seed starter. Those seed starter. The little cardboard pots and plants, because you can plant them and you can take them and you can stick them into the ground without having to cause any like shock or whatever to the plant, and they actually like disintegrate into the ground. So I like those two for that situation. But Jay, I'm gonna tell you this: start little and like the seed starting trays, and then um we can grow from there. And I'm telling you another way too, if you have questions, I'll start doing like lives where I go from my computer to answer you all's questions. If you want to come up and like ask questions and then show what you're already growing or whatever, and we can talk more about upgrading them from there. But some other people, they have added me over on Instagram, and you can send me pictures of where you started from, and then you want to know the next part of the process too. But I never want to handicap anybody that I have your all of your information or whatever. I just know when plants do certain things, and if I'm the person you're comfortable with asking the question, then great. I want to be able to answer, but I also want to teach you how to answer those questions for yourself. My husband told me before, it's like when I do things with plants and stuff like that, and I don't know the answers for him, he always advised me go on YouTube and look up 3 videos. Out of those 3 videos, come up with your own idea, come up with your own things. See, that's kind of like reverencing yourself instead of just the person who made it, and come up with your own thing, as long as it's something close to that or whatever. And do your own thing. And every question that you have, you can type it into YouTube, because sometimes we all on here asking questions that we ain't able to answer every time. But there's somebody else in here that went through that same thing, that same process you did, that can give you something else different to go through. The best thing is, I can tell you, Jay, look on the back of the pack and give them the best start off you can. And then once you see that flower go up, it'll spark something in you, or you'll start getting the information. Just put your seeds in the ground, and whatever you're gonna put them in, whichever one, because you put a variety of things that you want to start off. So we'll crank up a live, and hopefully you're there. And in the middle of those lives, we can ask all them questions. But I'm definitely getting to the place, because here we is. We 2 hours in over here. Um, but whenever we crank up another live or whatever, and you're here for it, let's take them one at a time, and then that way um we can get into the groove of that right there, and get some things to going. But that's a good little start right there. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I need to start dinner. That's why I'm going to that point right after I get off this here live, and some seating trays. Yeah, but you in a good place with those seating trays, because you can't go wrong with that right there. I usually use, to start off my seating. You got those seating trays. I get me one of those. They have a block of like a cocoa core mix. When you put it in warm water, it usually expands really big. I think I have a video of that also on here. I use that to start my seeds off, and I put them in those trays. It covers it very good, and start them in there. Your seeds start to growing, then you find out the next process. Don't overwhelm yourself trying to find out everything you have to do through the whole plant life. Once you see your baby start popping above ground, then that's a good time to start finding out, okay, then what I'm gonna do with them after this point. And then you go from there. You already done started by getting your stuff together. You did the preparation part. Preparations. My granny had a huge garden with veggies, fruits, and flowers. She had grape bushes, blueberries, melons. I miss it so much. My grandma like that was like that too. She had a lot of stuff growing in her garden. My dad always had a garden too. Um, always had. He even had a his own fruit stand where he sold his fruits and vegetables and stuff. So, but yes, Leslie, you have an amazing day, and I thank you for coming through again today. My mom got a green thumb. Me, not so much. You got a green thumb too, Katie. You just ain't tapped into it yet. And watch, you gonna get there. That thumb gonna be greener than green. Watch. Can I leave them inside at night and put them out at day? Cause the bugs and wind is crazy out here. You absolutely can do that. But let me tell you, when you first starting your seeds out, you keep your babies in the house with you. You don't have to put them out there. You don't have to put none of that stuff outside. You can start it right in your house in secret your little secret area with no nothing in the beginning. If you want to get you a little grow light for your little area, you can keep them in there for a little while because they won't grow long and leggy for a while, as long as they're getting proper sunlight. But you can start all of that. You don't never have to put it outside for right now. Actually, Miss Coffee is growing all of her stuff on the inside. She don't plan on to. I'll be telling people you got an extra room inside of your house. Turn that room into your little grow room in the garden. You can grow everything right there inside your house if you want. If it get the proper sunlight and the proper watering, you can grow anywhere. Is what I believe. You heard what I said. You can grow anywhere. You can live anywhere, and you can grow. You can grow. Can I leave them inside at night and put them out? Yeah, if you we already answered that because the bugs and winds is crazy. Oh, for sure. I like that idea. How do you keep enough air in a 5 gallon bucket or drain them? Anytime you're doing because the roots, remember, when your roots go down into the 5 gallon bucket, you don't it's putting them in a dark area, and roots don't necessarily get air or whatever. It sucks up nutrients from the ground. The leaves and everything is what do that part of it. So even in a 5 gallon bucket, you don't need that. The only thing you need to do in a 5 gallon bucket, you need to put some holes in the bottom of it for it to drain excess liquid out of it. Um, but yeah, no, you can definitely grow it. And there's a lot of videos. I've grown a lot of stuff in 5 gallon buckets, a lot. So, you have that definitely, I know for a fact that's not a fear of like your plants drowning out in that situation. It actually holds a lot of your nutrients and stuff right in that stuff, and from time to time you have to give it a little dose of some fertilizer or whatever, but things do good inside of yeah, I just take a little a drill bit and put little holes in it so like it can drain any excess water out of the me too dead plants onto dinner. Do you put the seed at the top of the soil or in the middle? You can, for me, I just take the seed and I just press it down. And according to what you're growing, sometimes I just sprinkle the seed on the top of it. But again, Jay, like I said, we have to go specifically by whatever it is that you planted. Because some things you can just sprinkle right on the top and you don't have to do anything to it. But on the back of your packets, it'll tell you on the back of them, it say when you plant them this amount of the ways down. But when you're starting them in a seeding tray, this is normally what I do. I put the cocoa core in there and I put it down in there, and then I press down on it. And then when I press down on it, because it's kind of airy like, I press down on it and then I sprinkle whatever seed into it that I'm going to sprinkle into the section, and then I put a little bit more of the cocoa core on top and then press it down just a little bit more, and that's what I do to it. I never really put a depth on it, especially when I start with the seeding tray. The object of the game is moving them from out of it before it outgrows the seeding tray that you put it in. So hopefully that tip helps you with anything you're trying to put into the soil right now. Because anything you put in and you babysitting it right up in front of you, it's gonna make it. My used to use burlap to keep seeds warm or hay to keep them from birds eating them. Yep. Yes. I don't know if you ever seen they be out here, the squirrels be out here eating out. We planted peanuts and the squirrels be out here eating them up every day. So right now we just letting them do what they do until we I go and get these other bags of peanuts that I've been talking about for days. So I need to go and get like another 3 bags of peanuts that I'm gonna put there, which is costing me $21 to go and get the peanuts. And not all is lost because some of the peanuts are coming up, but we want way more than that. Right now we probably end up with about as much as we did up here when I used to do them in the garden bed, just because we thought about the dang on squirrels. So we usually don't plant them in the ground. But this year we tilled up a spot to put them into the ground, and the squirrels been having a heyday with them. But we want more than what we got out there, so we got to start over again, and then we gonna have to do something else different to stop them from eating all the peanuts that we trying to go. um, my daddy's side was from the south, and almost all of my relatives grew enough food to only have to shop for me. Hey, that's the thing. I even got I have chickens and hogs here too. So, and one of these days I'm gonna inch up on me a goat. um, I hear getting your hands in the earth is good for the soul. It absolutely is. You must have missed that part of the live, Katie, because we got into all that. I only use chicken poop. And I wouldn't say, let me stop saying I only use that. Every now and then I'll deal with some because I showed them that I bought some other stuff the other day. But my main source of fertilization, because mostly everything I grow it all absolutely loves nitrogen. So my go to is to go right to my chicken pen and scoop me up some chicken poop and put it to use. So that's what I usually use on a daily basis here with fertilizing in my garden. Chicken poop. I bought organic potting mix. Is this good enough? Jay, I ain't really into the organic stuff because let me tell you something. The only thing you know, what does organic mean when you come to the soil? I really don't know. I don't get into that, but I don't get into organic because you can write organic on a piece of paper and stick it to whatever you want to stick it to. And it's almost like you have to trust what somebody's saying that it's organic. The only way that I would say to you, you're truly gonna get organic anything is you come out here and do it your own self, meaning like it's made out of leaves and I mean soil. I don't know what that means. So me with organic stuff, I don't even trust the grocery stores when they say you got organic potatoes, you got organic this. How do we really know that? We have to believe what they have on the packet or whatever. But in reality, Jay, I believe you can get any soil, and make something grow. It's dirt. So you can go outside and dig up somebody's dirt. If the blacker the dirt, the better growth you gonna get out of it. So, you know, it should be good enough. As long as it's soil, you gonna get some growth out of it and your plant's gonna start to speak to you. Those are all I don't know about the hummus, but the peat moss, sand, and perlite. All things that I've used before, but ain't nothing that I really use like that. I use perlite in one of my garden beds because my soil was like too compacted. So I've used the perlite before for that in my garden bed, but it's not something that I use a lot. Now let me tell you something. Everything I'm saying to you, this was me in the stores back in the day. Was like trying to buy this, that, and the other until you work up to you'll keep the things that are beneficial for you and you'll weed out the things that aren't. Because I'm telling you, when you first started growing, you want everything that's best for your things, to give your plants the best chance that they can get, that they can have. So in the beginning, you'll go all out the way for it. I know what it's like, and then you'll bring balance in. You'll bring the balance in. So of how to navigate with those things. Most stuff you should be able to just press it in the dirt, right? Yeah, right. You heard earlier we was on here and we was talking to Miss Yotha. She was on her page too. She'll tell you to garden is not a whole lot of things. You look at the way people put things together and do different things. It don't take all of that stuff. If you can make the seed touch the soil, you're gonna get something to grow. So that's all. Make your seeds touch some soil, and you're gonna get some growth. Keep some water on them. Um, it's a whole bunch of different ways, but Katie, I don't use pest control or none of that stuff. They have this one thing called BT, but I told you everything. And it's supposed to work for quite a bit of things. Like it works for the worms or whatever. I just try to get ahead of them and knock them off or whatever. I depend on my lizards and my ladybugs and stuff like that, like natural things to happen. And sometimes I lose out that way, you know. But I try to plant more than we expect to eat or give away or sell or any of that stuff right there, so that I always it's no big deal if we lose out, because when we get things like the worms get inside of them or whatever, that's an opportunity for our chickens to get something from out the garden. Our chickens give to us, we give back to them. You know, we we keep it balanced around here to keep giving to each other. Is cold water better for the plants or not? Yeah. Um, Room temperature, but yeah, cold. Use cool water. How many chickens you have? I probably got right now. I probably got about 40 chickens, and by next weekend we will add another probably 18 to it because we got the incubator going. So next weekend sometimes we should be having some live births, some live newborn baby chickens. I remember watching my great granny stick one of her chickens in a tub with warm water and Epsom salt, because yeah, she was egg bound. Yep, that's what you do to them when they get egg bound. When the eggs be stuck inside of them, she had a egg stuck inside of her. Yep, sometimes they get egg bound. So that is one of the things that you have to do to them to help them get the eggs up out of them. But um, that's a lot of eggs. Yep, I got some in there on the counter right now, waiting on me to come and clean them up and put them away too. So yes, I got a lot of eggs. What else? But yeah, I think that's it. Yep, the chickens had a spa day. Yep. So I have been on here now for 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours. But y'all helped me sit back and relax, like I said I was gonna do, and not get into doing anything else. And so as soon as I leave this live, I'm gonna get myself up from here and go ahead and walk into the house and go on and find out what we gonna do for dinner for today, and go from there. Because if I stay out here any longer, that means I'm gonna be out here doing some extra stuff that I said I was not going to do today. So with fresh eggs, do you keep them in the refrigerator? Yep. And sometimes I do it. I don't put them immediately in the refrigerator because they can stay on the counter for a while after you first had them. But I try to not leave them out longer than a week on the counter, and sometimes it doesn't. But if I leave them out like that, I usually start using those ones there. But yeah, we have our way of rotating them and everything, putting but I try not to leave them out longer than a week, but you can leave them out much longer than that. And plus I need to start figuring out because though I know how to get food and raise food and all of that stuff like that, I'm not good with preserving stuff and putting stuff away for us to have it all year so that I never have to go and buy it from the store or whatever. So hopefully somewhere along the line I'm gonna pick that up right there and start to learn how to store away more of my food and stuff like that. So um, you know, preparation. We about that over here too. Thank you for talking to me. God bless you. God bless you too, Katie, and everybody else that in here came through and joined the live over here where we are the high class gardeners, and that just means we make sure we growing stuff at all times of the year and growing along with it. And that just means the high class part is that we don't play with no bugs, worms, or snakes. And that's in real life. In real life. But always get your garden to growing and let it match up to where you trying to grow in life, showing you the manifestation of where it is you're going and growing through. This was to me a great live, and I definitely enjoyed talking to you all. Yes, we're gonna be working on a cure. Hey, can help you with Hey, I can help you. All right, then we got two of them. Yeah, Miss Coffee was talking about that. I even got somebody who said that they were even show me how to do canning. But I have to let them get settled in and everything. They just moved and everything. So all of those things are things that I got coming up where I'm going to learn how to get those things done. So Florence Scovel Sheen says, "Never do today what intuition says to do tomorrow." Yep, and I came on here today saying that I keep hearing in myself today is supposed to be a relaxing day. So I'm trying to stay with that. And so tomorrow, all of the things that I have and the plans that I have inside of my mind, we will get to them in the morning. In the morning. Kitty, I need that also. So we gonna definitely do that. Katie, do you have a page, or you just you just um a subscriber? Um we growing out. Hey, that's right, we growing. Yes, we ate this coffee. Let me see. Okay, then. So hopefully one of these days we can strike up a live and we can talk about that, or you can create a page if you like. But if not, we can always there's ways that you can come on and not get on camera and stuff like that, but still we can hear your voice. Like if we have questions or something like that. But we about growing over here and helping each other do different things. So if you know about canning and stuff over here, welcome to the garden of growing. Let's grow together. I would love that. So, let's just, and then too, maybe we can encourage you to grow and go and make a page so we can all grow together. Let's get it going. So, that's been our live for today, and I appreciate you all, high class gardeners, for coming through and also hitting that like button, and tilling up some ground for us over here. Thank you very much for that. And to my beautiful moderators, I appreciate you all for coming through and helping keep the live going as always. Stay growing, y'all. Until next time, see y'all tomorrow morning. Oh, you a chef? All righty then. Oh, see, we got okay then. Come through with the cooking tips, all of that. So yeah, we growing over here. Welcome to the garden. See, we can all use what we got going on. Cause see, you the chef, we got the onions and the lettuce and the herbs and all of that good stuff going. So yes, come through. We growing over here. Now we got the cook over here in the chat. But you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful Sunday. The wind, the breeze is blowing out here. It feels lovely. But I'm gonna make my way on back up to this house, figure out what we gonna do tonight for dinner, and then try and do some relaxation today. So see y'all tomorrow morning sometimes.